recently, the Nintendo OLED edition, Nintendo Switch OLED edition, was announced.
Yep, we haven't had the
Uh,
chance to talk about that yet.
right. Now this topic is more specifically going to be about some Joy-Con news related to it. And I see you have some notes here, and I'll let you get into that. But I guess just briefly, again, the Nintendo Switch OLED model was announced. There's nothing new about it except that it has an OLED screen. It's like a centimeter bigger. It has the same CPU, same everything else. It's very stupid. It's pointless. It's not made for anybody. It's pretty par with Nintendo and them doing kind of like these console refreshes, like a lot of other people. But I really don't know who it's made for. I think it's a terrible idea. I think Nintendo is pretty stupid. The fact that we're 4 years into it now and you're not upping any power with this, but that's just my opinion. I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, I'll mention that I actually like the look and the upgrades that were done to the Switch, the OLED Switch. Um, I'm
Mhm.
actually kind of considering getting one because I actually play my Switch in handheld most of the time, as opposed to it being docked. And the upgraded
Yeah,
visuals
same.
on the OLED screen and then the better speakers are actually kind of appealing to me. Especially if I can just trade my Switch in and get this Switch for a pretty decent discount. Why not?
Yeah.
OLED screens though, Josh, scare me because you can get burn in very, very easily on OLED screens if the games or the media you're consuming on the device isn't, optimized for an OLED screen. So if you're playing a game with
hmm
a HUD, that HUD can get burned right into the screen if you play it enough, which nobody likes screen burn in. It's the worst. I had it on my cell phone and it fucking drove me nuts. So
hmm
OLED screens look beautiful, but you got to be careful with them. But moving on
Yeah.
to the actual news here, guys. It seems that Nintendo is kind of avoiding the Joy-Con stick drift issue. Um, I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, Josh. I know you and I have talked about it, a lot
Yeah.
on this
We
channel.
have we have a video up talking about that like basically Nintendo and all the other big parties use like the same joystick manufacturer.
Yeah,
So,
and they're all shit.
yes.
Specifically, the Joy-Con, it's the worst of them all. The stick drift and the drift in general is just god awful. Um, and basically, what's happening here is everyone's going to Nintendo. Oh, Jesus, I'm having a stroke. Everyone is going to Nintendo and asking, with this OLED model, are the Joy Cons going to be better? And Nintendo is doing the classic Nintendo dance and shuffle where they give you the runaround and they don't actually answer the question at hand. So this is going to be coming from The Verge. So in a statement, Nintendo provided to Wired, so we're just covering a bunch of different outlets here, Polygon, another one, GameSpot, and The Verge. The company said that the Joy-Con controller configuration and functionality did not change with the Nintendo Switch OLED model. However, the outlets didn't ask about the configuration or functionality, as it was pretty clear from Nintendo's announcement that the controllers would be the same. And then an FAQ on the company's UK website, being Nintendo, is even more explicit that the Joy-Con controllers included with the Nintendo Switch OLED model are the same controllers currently available. Now, Josh, the controllers are compatible. You can use your old Joy-Cons on the new OLED Switch and vice versa. There's no upgraded tech in there. They all do the same thing. You gotta imagine that there's something they can do with Joy-Cons going forward as they're being manufactured where they can make a small change and just nip this in the bud.
Yeah, they need better of those little fucking modules that house the joysticks that are manufactured by the same company as all these other companies, and it's an issue. And they literally, we have a whole video on this referring to a iFixit like YouTube video or like just it needs to change. It needs to change because it's abysmal. Like they're terrible little rinky dink shit pieces, and like it needs to change because if I have one more issue with stick drift on anything, not only is that controller getting smashed, but I'm gonna make a video literally reaming these fucking companies. I'm so tired of it. It's so abysmal. It's like beyond ridiculous that you cannot figure this out. And you can, but you're little greedy bastards and you refuse to.
So it's worth noting that you can actually reach out to Nintendo customer support and get a free replacement of your Joy-Cons. However, if it's your only set of Joy-Cons, you're without them for weeks at a time. You can't play your Switch unless you have a Pro controller. Um, So yeah, man. I mean, this is just it's ass. Honestly, this is very clear that they're the same thing. Nothing's changed. The technology's the same. Because if there was a fix for the Joy-Cons in this new OLED model, they would say like, oh, these are new and improved Joy-Cons. The technology's the same, but that issue has been addressed. Even if they just say that last line, these issues have been addressed. That's all you need to say. But that's not what they're doing at all.
No, it needs to change. It needs to be fixed.
Yeah. So, I'm still suffering stick drift on my PS5 DualSense controller that I got at launch with my PlayStation 5. So that fucking sucks. And I don't know if this is ever going to be fixed or, we're ever going to get, a fix for this. So,
time will tell.
Time will tell.
Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Josh and Brett really need you too. I love them. So do it. It would be a shame if you miss more of their videos. Hit the notification bell too, so you know when there is a new upload.